Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Financier. Today, we'll be talking about some tech M&A deals that just came to market from IBM, Atos, and private equity. If you've got any questions or concerns, feel free to just chime in, comments, Twitter, wherever you are streaming in from. Let me know where you're calling in from today. So I'll go into these 5 MSP deals, managed service providers. These are obviously the IT services that provide the consulting for software implementation. This has been a very hot area of the market. There have been a lot of new deals that have been coming to market. So without further ado, jump right in. First up is Atos. They did 3 major deals in April. They'll be doing quite a few more. They did a multi-billion-dollar deal to buy Syntel and a few other large players. Well, they did a couple that I'll go into quickly. One was Processia, CryptoVision, and Ipsotech. This all goes into expanding their product lifecycle management, cybersecurity, video analytics, and then IT consulting. Obviously, cyber and video are probably the biggest acquisitions that will probably create the most value for them. Those are the hottest areas right now. People ask me where I do my video, and obviously cyber is a really hot topic. So I think Atos is, these are all foreign deals. So they're a pretty much global company. I think they're in the business of like $7 to $9 billion plus dollars. So it's a pretty big expansion for them. It's not a surprise. It's a regular acquisition, acquiring spree for them. So next up is IBM. They did a pretty big deal. We already talked about IBM last week with their earnings and what Arvind Krishna is doing with their hybrid cloud strategy. But they just acquired MyInvenio. It's a business automation software that allows process mining for hyper automation. We talked about this with the UiPath acquisition. Hey, Gurpreet. Nice to see you. So we talked about hyper automation in last week about UiPath and them going public. It was a really hot deal for them and pretty exciting. I think in the space, we'll see a lot more happening. And this is really accretive to Arvind's multi-cloud strategy for software deals. There's a huge push for business automation, so process discovery, task mining, business rule mining, any RPA, so robotic process automation and simulation. These are really big places. I think we'll see a lot more actually software being built into the space and then later being acquired. UiPath has been in this space for 15 years. IBM is going to catch up and do more in this area. So it's be a lot. I think it's important. This deal is also based in Europe. It's in Italy. The company was founded in 2013. So I think UiPath was founded in Romania in 2005, 2006. So we'll see a lot more of these deals. It's pretty cool to see them coming from Europe, and I think a lot more of them will come from other countries outside of the United States. And then Oak Hill and KKR made a private equity business, private equity investment. We talked about KKR. It was a really popular stream 2 weeks ago. They made some major deals. I covered 4 or 5 major deals that they did. They're raising a lot of money to do business in this area. Tomorrow, I'll talk about Thoma Bravo and a lot of other tech service providers, investment providers that are acquiring and raising billions of dollars. So to go on top of the KKR business and the acquisition that they just announced with Oak Hill, they acquired and invested a business into a fiber network provider called Metronet. Fiber optics, obviously high-speed internet is a pretty important infrastructure asset. This was obviously popular in the 90s and the early 2000s, and expanding into the fiber to premise to create high-speed data, television, and telephone services in really rural areas is fundamental. So just for economic growth, we're seeing this in a lot of areas that simply don't have access to high-speed internet. For example, broadband, like this video streaming service, cannot really be done well on wireless, on low connectivity wireless. So high-speed broadband is really critical. Oak Hill has already done several other acquisitions in this space. They don't have a big brand like KKR, but they've done deals like Otelco in 2020, last year, to expand their fiber optics portfolio. And we'll see a lot more of these companies do these more infrastructure platform acquisitions that are critical for providing, good software and high-speed connectivity that you simply can't do without, And it's really a privilege to be in the coast to see where these deals are and where we have high-speed internet so we can take access and take advantage of these. So I want to cover these major deals. There were 5 of them that I discussed. If you've got comments or questions, we're going to do more of these series at different lengths from 5 to 15 minutes, depending on what the news is, what deals are onto market. There's a lot more that's coming up. I'll talk about the Dell spinoff soon. I'll talk about what the Proofpoint acquisition coming up and a few more things. I quickly read into the Tesla earnings call. It looks like the company is also ahead of its estimates at 50% growth. Delivery has been off the charts. I noticed that obviously they made like $100 million selling their Bitcoin. They're up about $1 billion in that position. So that company is doing an amazing job. Just to add on top of the acquisitions and earnings of this season, this is also earnings season, so you can obviously pay attention to a lot of the companies that are going public with their corporate earnings right now. So there's a lot more to be released. If you are watching this later or you're watching it today, feel free to let me know what you've seen in the markets, what you want, what questions you have about investing in technology. I'll be providing more posts and updates on the go. So until then, I'll see everybody soon. So take care.